many of y'all believe that? That if people see you serving, then they're gonna ask questions, and then they're gonna tell somebody, it's gonna tell somebody. So basically, we just want you guys to come see us, me, Martha One, and join the marketing and public relations. Telling people about the website. All right, well, thank you guys.
Thank you so very much, Chair Super and Co-Chair Turner. Yes, I want to build a very large social media presence. We don't want to be an organization just known for social events. This is an organization that's known for serving. We want to serve as a hub of information. You know, there's so much going on. There's so much going on around. And we want to be an avenue where people can come and get the information that they need to make them successful, and they can be empowered to serve their community in a greater way. So with that being said, thank you everyone for reporting on your committees. Again, if you feel that any of these committees fit you, please see those chairs thereafter. We need you. This is not just an organization just about us and the leadership. We want to empower you to be leaders. Be leaders in your own personal space and be leaders in the community. So again, after our meeting, see each and every one of these committee chairs on one of the committees. Thank you so very much. I turn it back over to President Kelly.
Okay. So I didn't get them out in time before we got started, but on the desk for our members and potential members, we have a card. And it breaks down pretty much what the Birmingham Urban League, what we do, how we do what we do, and where you will fit in and how it will benefit you as an individual being part of the organization. We have our card, and we also have our trifold out there that gives you detailed information. Of course, I know it's kind of like I say, drinking water out of fire. There's a lot coming at you at once. So it may be hard to digest, but please grab one, read up on it, tell your friends, tell your coworkers to come out and be a part of it. Kind of to piggyback off some of the prior comments. You know, we're not living in a cave. We see what's going on right now in the world. We know what's going to happen in about 5 hours and some odd minutes. No sense of covering up your face now. It is what it is. And for those of you who, if I'm stepping on some toes, I apologize. I'm bipartisan, so it doesn't matter. Right. But my point of it all is we have to be involved. You know, I'm not personally on social media a lot outside of the Urban League, but I do read it, and I see a lot of the comments. You know, we need to do this, or you know, this person is a sellout, or this, you know, however. But something I heard at a conference one time: if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. You have to come to the table to be a part. You know, all of us can sit and say what Alabama should have did to win the game last night. But none of us probably could have stood on that sideline in that type of pressure and made the necessary decision to move forward. So my point of saying that is, let's get involved as often as we can. I'm not saying involved with politics. Again, we're a bipartisan organization. But voter registration, that's something that we push a lot. You know, healthy eating habits, living habits, you name it, financial literacy, economic empowerment. You know, we talk about these things, we understand these things. Now it's time for us to, as Chair Herrera said, explain that and teach others. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. We need boots on the ground. It may sometimes look easy to lead. You know, oftentimes when we say, hey, who wants to lead, who wants to do this, I don't want to lead without help. You know, so we need some people to step up. You know, work has to be done. You know, when we go out and you know, feed the homeless or whatever, you know, clean up a community, someone has to take the initiative within the organization and make the contact and set all that stuff or work it logistically. It's not easy. I know. And I know myself sometimes feel like I got a second and a third job, you know, working at the Urban League. But I'm passionate about what I do, because if I affect one person, I feel like I've done my part. Am I going to reach everybody? No. Is everybody going to understand what we do? No. You're not, that's not my goal. My goal is to change one life at a time, one way or another, whether it's directly or whether it's indirectly. So I encourage each and every one of you to be a part of it. Don't just, you know, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of somebody who joined and I don't see them again. Or they join and they come to meetings and they sit there and when it's over they leave. You know, we need you to be active. You know, we want you to know what's going on. Just think about it, and you don't have to tell me, but, you know, look at it as an organizational sorority. For those of you all that's part of a Greek organization, did you just pledge and you don't look back at it anymore? Do you not wear your Greek colors? Do you not go to your Greek, you know, conferences or, you know, your Founders Day? It's the same thing with the organization. We're a national organization, you know. The Birmingham Urban League has been around. This year we'll be celebrating 50 years of existence right here in Birmingham. Some of our founders, Jesse Lewis, you know, Jesse Lewis, the owner of the Birmingham Times. So those are some of the founders that sat around it and took some initiative. The Urban League YP, last year we just celebrated 10 years. We actually have one of the founders sitting back here filming. You know, it took them over a year to sit down and meet monthly to try to create a plan at the age of, we'll say, early 20s.
That's correct.
Before this came to reality. So it takes work. It's not easy. So I encourage you again to join committees. You know, the committees meet, you know, they come up with ideas that's going to better the organization and also better ourselves individually. So I'm not going to keep harping on that. Now we'll move to announcements. This Saturday, I said we'll announce like we're in church. This Saturday, just kind of let you know what's going on. So periodically we have our announcements. So basically what we're doing as an organization. One of the things, and I was hoping he'll come out, he's on an important conference call right now, but our CEO, we're looking to expand the organization. All right, our National Urban League Young Professional organization is looking to desperately expand our YP sector. So our CEO is looking to expand our, meaning open up additional young chapters in other cities. Our goal is to move within the next 2 to 3 years into Huntsville as well as Mobile. They actually contacted us and said, hey, we want to be part of the YP organization. You know, so Saturday we are going up, come, please. We will be going up to Huntsville at 11. We'll leave here probably around 8 o'clock, going to Huntsville at 11 for pancake and professionals. Just kind of network and help them get their structure and organization together so we can actually lead help establish an organization. So that's what that's about. Also, the biggest thing should have been number one, our Join Week. So the National Urban League annually we call it National Join Week. And what that is again expanding our footprint, meaning we're trying to get as many productive, I'm gonna use that word, productive members as possible. Not just, hey, let me get $50 tax deductible, I don't see it again. But we're trying to expand our membership. So that week we'll have some events about that week. If you follow us again, like PR mentioned on social media, you'll see a lot of the information and also the dates. I apologize, we don't have a flyer to give you in front of you. We just kind of got to pick up with some logistics, but that's not gonna hold us down. So we're going to regroup, and we'll have that information out here hopefully by the end of Sunday. Hopefully by the end of Sunday. We'll have the information out, and you'll be able to see it. But basically what it is, we're going to kick the week off with some good educational information / social. So just kind of understand what the Urban League is again, what we do in detail, and then of course we'll end the week up with some fun activities the closer we get to the weekend. Third thing is Selma Bridge Crossing. Now we know that is going to be something that is going to be out of sight this year. And I'm not going to get into detail why. We know it is. This will be this year, the Lord said the same, will be about my 4th year in a row going since I joined the Urban League. We typically bus down. It is a minimal fee, very small, to go and come back. We also grab lunch. More details will come out about that. But it's a sight. My first time going was, not 4 years ago, my first time going was actually in 2012. President Obama was won re-election. And to actually be in Selma and to cross that bridge and really be, not him in particular, but an arm reach to some of our icons, to me was historical. It really was. I see these people on TV, I read about them, see them on CNN, but to be at arm's reach of these individuals and then having the opportunity to top it off to actually cross the bridge. It is phenomenal. So if you hadn't had an opportunity to go, I encourage you to save the date. It is March 5th. It's on a Sunday, and it's out of sight. And again, for those of y'all who are on social media, I follow personally Terry Sewell. She's already talking about her and John Lewis in store for this year's bridge crossing. So again, if you can make it, please do. This year's our first year. We were contacted by an entrepreneur who was looking to expand the Black Restaurant Week, and they wanted to do it here in Birmingham. I thought it would be a perfect idea. The contact actually wanted the Birmingham Urban League, and they're from out of state. Actually contacted Birmingham Urban League because, you know, they said, hey, I've kind of heard some good things about you all. You're making some noise down there, and I would like for you all to kind of lead the efforts there locally. And I, you know, without any hesitation or even, I'm sorry I didn't, mention it to my board, but I said yes, without a doubt we'll do it. So in a nutshell, what that is just patronizing Black-owned businesses. You know, that week we'll put out a schedule of which restaurant, on which days that we plan to patronize, and we want to go there in masses, one way or another. I mean, I'm not saying we need to all load up in the bus and go at once, but whatever that restaurant is, if you can maybe go there for breakfast, they serve, go for lunch, dinner, whatever. Just go and let's patronize, you know, because we have to patronize us. We talk about all the time Black-owned business and why we don't make it. I'm in banking. That's what I do by day. I do finance. At the end of the day, if you don't have money, you can't survive. Just anybody. You don't even have to be a business. You can be an individual. No money, no open. So we have to patronize our Black-owned businesses and circulate the dollar in our neighborhood. We know and when I'm saying we, I'm not saying, people sitting here, because I know you all do. But as a whole, we don't patronize our counterpart, us. And we got to kind of get out of that mindset. I hear it to at the barbershop, man, I don't mess with black people screw you over, black people do this. Black people ain't white folks don't screw you over. Black people don't screw you over. You know what I mean? Let's not be judged by a few. That's just a sour taste, Is it unethical African American business owners? Sure it is. But it's just as many as our counterparts as well. So let's make sure we participate in that, and again, we'll have more details coming as we get them, as we release the actual restaurants. Last but not least, our science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. That is our National Day of Service. So basically what it is those of you who have not had an opportunity to participate in that, we reach out to schoolers, and we host a STEM day. So, and we typically partner or utilize the Birmingham City Schools. That does not mean that we're only, we can only speak to them, but that's typically who we reach out to that's interested in those potential in those fields, and we have speakers to come out. In the past, we've done it. We partnered with Lawson State Community College here right over in Birmingham, and it's typically on a Saturday, 9 a.m. till about 2 o'clock. We have the kids. We provide breakfast. We provide a lunch, and it's awesome. And also, we'll need plenty volunteers. And if we have members or even non-members that work in that field, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, we'd love for you to get with our Vice President Huffman because we need, people to come out and facilitate those classes. So again, it's not about, color barriers, but I'm a firm believer, particularly being a young African American man growing up in inner city Birmingham. If we don't see people that look like us doing things we want to do, it's hard for us to strive for that. I didn't see a black engineer. My parents didn't go to college. So, I didn't know that existed until I was grown. So let's try to get we have to plant that seed early to get our young men and women something to look forward to at a young age. And not every time I go into school to speak, I hear what you want to be a football player or a basketball player. How you gonna be a basketball player, man? You're tall. But that's their reality. And I laugh at it now because that was me about some years ago. You know, so anybody that we can utilize to help. And if you're not in that field, but you know someone that's in that field, let's make sure we, get with Vice President Huffman, and she's gonna be the one organizing that. All right? Now, good. Any questions? I know it's a lot of questions. Sure, there's a lot of questions. You know, a lot of questions? Yes, sir.
Do any of your fundraising efforts take place here on site or on location in other locations?
Yes, sir. So the question is, whether do we fundraise here or go? So typically, and it varies, we don't have a set place, but typically we look for, first thing we do is we find out what our members want to do. So that's why it's vital to either A, be a part of a committee, and B, when we have meetings, to give us feedback. Because I sat in those seats too 5 years ago, and I said, man, you do the same thing over and over. Well, man, why we keep doing that? Not realizing, but when they asked for any question and ideas, I didn't open my mouth. I just said that. So, the reason being, because of the same people coming up with the same solutions. So to answer your question, we go various places. Sometimes we've had fundraisers. We partner with the Alpha, the fraternity, and did fundraisers at Summit Club. We've had partnerships with AP. We've had partnerships with the UNCF. We've had partnerships with YP Birmingham. Wherever we can partnership and be most cost efficient, whether it's, hey, we're going somewhere at a venue that's sponsoring it, or we come somewhere like here to maximize the opportunity. So anything that you can think of, things that you think could be a good idea, let us know. It's imperative. So it's open wherever, Now we do keep in mind, again, we are a national organization and we have a 501c3 to protect. So with that being said, now, for the most part, and I'm just throwing this out there, I know it won't happen, but we have to be cognizant of where we're at and what we're doing while we're there. So, but outside of that, it's whatever. Any other questions? Oh, I'm sorry.
Co-chair, I really wanted to add anything regarding the fundraising.
Actually, I just wanted to make sure that anybody who does have a fundraising idea or interested in the fundraising committee, please see me immediately after this, after we adjourn.
Yes, ma'am.
How are y'all reaching out besides social media?
Well, that's a good question. So how do we, typically, social media is operating, but our social media, our website, and word of mouth. That's typically what we find to be most productive. When I first started, we did use other avenues such as media, radio, and we found out it wasn't as effective. Because oftentimes your target demographics, we're at work. So we're not listening to a radio per se. So it's not as effective. So social media has really been our thing, that and our website. Simply because we also encourage you, like Chair Turner said, not only like it, but share it. My friends can see it, you share it, your friends can see it, and before you know it, we actually can keep track on social media. We've done this several times, see how many people actually viewed it, and we boosted it. Events that we create, our PR department has created, that was viewed easily by 4,000 or 5,000 people, and then of course, if you get 10% of that, what we do. And I know everybody is not on social media. We try to use other avenues. Chair Sigler is actually recording, but he's recording for a purpose because he has on Periscope and YouTube. So, came up with ways to just kind of get the word out on what we do. And again, we rely on individuals like yourself to say, hey, I had a pretty good time. I know the young lady here, she came before and said, hey, I brought somebody else with me. We encourage that. Yes, sir.
What is the difference between the young professionals and the bigger group? I want bigger. The Birmingham Urban League, and how, if at all, do they work together?
Okay, good question. So what's the difference? We get that a lot. There is no difference between the Birmingham Urban League and the Birmingham Urban League Young Professionals. It's absolutely zero. The Birmingham Urban League is and you may hear us say the word affiliate, but that is the parent to the young professionals. So the Birmingham Urban League is the brand that's behind the resources, the GED programs, economic, financial literacy, housing counseling. That is the meat and bones. That's behind the scenes. That's creating the sausage per se. The YPs, we're an auxiliary group. All right, kind of like church. You got your guild, you got your young choir. So that's how we operate. All right. The Birmingham Urban League Young Professionals, we do not have a 501c3. We don't have any of that. All right. We rely on our parent, which is the Birmingham Urban League. All right, to sustain. And how that operates is we support the Birmingham Urban League's mission and goals, which is some of the 5 things that we discussed, as well as serving the underserved. So we're kind of the voice. We're the marketing tool. We're the ones that we get out in the community and do what we do to bring awareness to the Birmingham Urban League. But it's absolutely zero difference between us and the Birmingham Urban League.
So to make sure I get this right, I understand there's a staff. So separate from the staff, there is not 2 memberships.
That's a great question. So if you join your $50, your $50 entitles you to be a member of the Birmingham Urban League as well as National Urban League. So
But in Birmingham, it's not. And I always say that because in other cities, there's 2 different memberships. Here, there's just 1 membership.
Yeah, so to answer your question, in certain cities, and that's something we've done in the past, we kind of teeter with, you actually have tiered memberships. So, and what I mean by that is we have a basic $50 membership that entitles you to certain things. Some chapters, then you move up to $75, you're entitled to this, and this. And then 100 consider you this gold member or something. So that's tiered membership. But your membership gives you all access and privileges to the Birmingham Urban League as well as the National Urban League.
I'm sorry, one more question.
No,
So if you're 50 years old, you're not a member of Urban League proper.
Okay,
Technically, I mean, you could, because you would turn them down, but that's.
no, I'm turning down.
Yeah,
Now, so that's a good question. So we do have an age. It depends on, it's chapter specific. This chapter here is 21 to 45. We moved up from 21 to 40 about 4 years ago.
4 years
And
ago.
So after that, what you have is called the Guild. And you'll probably start hearing more about that because the Birmingham Urban League at one point had what they call the Guild. That is for individuals who wanted to continue to serve but aged out of the young professions. So we're starting that back. So we are in the process of actually chartering our Guild. So once you're still a part, you're just not a part of the YPs, you would be a member of the Guild. Now the Guild actually does not have any age restrictions. So you can actually be 20 years old in the Guild if you like. Some people just don't do it. Again, the Guild, that's the kind of people that aged out, or not necessarily aged out, maybe at a point in their career where they feel like, hey, I learned everything I can learn and got what I can get out of the YPs, and I'm ready to take it up a notch.
Separate membership or is it one?
The Guild would be it would be a separate membership, correct? Because that is a separate auxiliary. So it would be. Those are some good questions. Keep me on my feet. Any other questions?
Is it like a yearly calendar of events, or is it kind of planned, or you kind of plan events as the year progresses?
That's a great question. So, how do we plan our events? Well, basically what we do, we have an executive leadership team. Those are some of the individuals that you saw in here that we're actually voted in on an annual basis. What we do, once we're voted in, we work with anybody in the membership that want to be a part of the committee. What we do as a leadership team, we, of course, get directed from our CEO, and we pass it down to our committees and say, hey, we are looking to do X amount of fundraisers per year. We're looking to do X amount of community service events a year, and we allow those committees to create some fun things to do. What that does, in our opinion, it empowers our committees, and also it prevents recycling ideas. Because if it was up to our leadership per se, we'll come up with the same 3 or 4 ideas year in and year out. We'll do the same thing we're doing. So that's why it's imperative when we have our chair, like Chair Ivory, saying, hey, anybody want to join, come on. Because you may have some awesome ideas and say, hey, I was involved with whatever group, and we used to do such and such, it was fun, man, great turnout. Can we implement this in the organization? What we do, once we get the committees to plan that out, we put it on our calendar. All right, certain things we can, some things is more of a save the date, it just depends on what it is. But certain events, like we do annual, like STEAM, our YP weekend, the Selma trip, and as you go to our website, Chair Turner stated, you will be able to pull our calendar down and look at all of our events. As we get them approved and processed and closed out, they'll immediately go to the calendar and you can keep up as an organization. Any other? Yes, sir.
The gentleman earlier, I think it was Herrera,
Mm-hmm.
he was mentioning fund development,
Yes, sir.
and he asked that business owners and other ideas as far as generating funds, see him. And you mentioned 10%. Now, my question is, if the business owners, if we come together and partner in an effort to raise funds,
Mm-hmm.
is it a complete charitable donation, or do we give 10%, or are we pretty much expected to just retain some of the profit share, or how does that?
Good question. That depends on how Chair Herrera and Chair Ivory work that deal collectively. So we've been involved with deals where organizations say, hey, prime example, we've been involved with fundraisers, and it came through the door was ours. Prime example, when we partnered with the Alphas last year at the Summit Club. The Summit Club actually sponsored the entire event for us. So we had zero overhead. And what we did is everything that we made, we kept. And the Alphas and I, we have an agreement to, well, not the Alphas, not the organization, we split it. So we've had situations like that. We've had fundraisers where we get the door and everything inside of that venue goes to that owner. We've had it, we did 2 years ago, we had a partnership with Ruby Tuesday. Anybody that ate that day at Ruby Tuesday and mentioned the Birmingham Urban League, we got a percentage of the receipt. So it's just how it worked with Chair Herrera and Chair Ivory. Hopefully this year, 100% on everything we do well. Let's go.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Okay, cool things. Again, I want to be cognizant of everyone's time. Don't forget, if on your way out, if you're not a member, or if you are a member, just say, hey, I need to know more. Please feel free to pick up a trifold and a card, and or either one, doesn't matter. Also, our site, right now we just got it back up, thanks to our PR and marketing chair. It is some information on there that is quite not up to date, because we just kind of got it up to date, honestly. So we got to move some stuff around, some officers and some other content, but it's small, minute information. But from the masses of it, as it relates to what do you do and information about the organization, that's current. Also, don't hesitate to email one of us. You can just click on the link, and it'll come directly to us, whether it's president@Bullup, info@bullup.org. You can contact us that way. Also through our Facebook page, you can contact us, and we will respond within reason. And please, 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 I know you're going to fund development. I can tell that now. Don't hesitate to see individuals that are charity. Be a part. I'm telling you, like Gilberto said in closing, being a part of an organization brings a lot of prestige and other avenues and gateways to other things. There's so many opportunities, not only just for the Urban League, but even for me personally and professionally, that has came from being a part of the organization. Even when I first started and I was a co-chair of fund development up to being the president, a lot of things will come out of that. And when you're part of organizations as it relates to employment opportunities, when your employer knows you're taking on leadership roles, that holds a lot of weight, in most cases. So please feel free to kind of mingle. I would like to see a weird microphone. Yeah, and mingle with the individuals, and make sure you join the committee. Yes, I'm sorry.
Just as a reminder, the cards that membership chairs come for everybody. Just make sure you complete those cards. Make sure you complete keep those cards and you can hand those back to our chairs of membership right at the table. Some of the things that you would like to see in the organization as a member or just a volunteer, just so we can gauge some of your ideas and implement whatever you've written. Thank you so much.
All right, and at this point, it's 6:48, I will call this meeting adjourned. I don't have a gavel.
Advocacy committee,
Fundraising over here.
You know we got one already. What else?
so be shy.
Thank you for coming out, bro. What's up, man? What's up, David? How you doing? Good. Getting some B-roll right now. What's up, bro? Ladies, thank y'all for coming. Actually, I had to get some B-roll real quick. See, we're live right now, so
We're live right now.
yeah. Hey, what you want to say, David?
I just want to say, come out to our next meeting
All right,
next month.
third Thursday of February. Yay!
Thursday of February.
And the Join Week stuff, everybody's excited about that too. And it's the agenda for those of you who didn't see it.
It's your first time? Okay, cool. Did you get all this information? Let me make sure you.
They so professional.
I got it.
So we're good.
Good.
I actually met her last night, so I'm very glad that you were able to come out.
That's what we do.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Man, I know you.
Ain't that privilege to get back behind that.
What I did, some of the stuff was out, some of it wasn't. So
That's all.
okay, good. And then the website over there.
So definitely,
Excuse me.
you will be a good asset to
So this is the sausage and the meat. This is the meat and the sausage. Because I had so many technical problems today. So people who will make it to this point will see this is like the 5th recording I've done today.
Oh, I just heard sausage and I was like, no, I'm not gonna be on this thing.
So that's Rob Mack.
My boy.
I said, Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year.
I don't think I seen you this year, man. I don't think I seen you this year, man. I don't think so. See? This is the advocacy people. They all say hey for our live broadcast right here. Yeah, that's right. I'm going around. I had several technical difficulties tonight, so this will be an interesting video as I piece it together. All right, that's President Kelly. All right, this is our community service committee right here. They're talking right here. That's our fundraising right here. So we're getting our good B-roll today because it's been interesting. That's PR right there working. That's our treasurer right there, talking with a prospective member. That's our secretary right there. Look at that correspondent. Yeah, she's correspondent. So, like I was telling people, like I've had to like record this like 5 times. So I'm like, I'm gonna see what actually makes it on here. This will probably be the one that makes it. 'Cause everybody get to talk on this one. Yes. That's Shamika and VPT. Hello. The famous VPT. We're gonna make that a thing though. Alright. And that concludes it. So President Kelly.
We have it, not to my knowledge, but that's not an avenue that we keep working.